Well, I'm just wondering, Orange fans, what happened to the team that in the first two-thirds of the season looked like they were Final Four bound, looked like they were championship game bound. Instead, we're turning into the also-rans. The last 10 games, we're 4-6. What has happened to the Orange? What happened to that supposed aura of invincibility that we had at the Carrier Dome? We had a long winning streak at the Dome, and guess what? The last 2 games we've lost to Georgetown and to Louisville. It isn't like what it was at Manley Fieldhouse over a generation ago now, is it? That aura of invincibility seems to have collapsed. Hey, what are you doing? Trying to imagine the aura of invincibility. Well, you know, I'll make you see the light. Got you that time, yeah. Hey, yeah? Oh, get out of here. Let's talk about this, Orange fans. In a time when we're supposed to be peaking, right when it's time to get ready for the Big East tournament, which is our last Big East tournament, and also getting ready for the big dance. It looked as though a while ago that we were a pretty good bet to be a #1 seed. Now the latest bracketology has us as a #4 seed, potentially meeting the Bison of Bucknell, who seem to be winning their conference. Of course, there could be a chance we could meet the guys that now hold the longest home winning streak in the NCAA now, South Dakota State. Do we really want to go against those jackrabbits? Maybe we want to get their big rival, the Coyotes, after them. Or maybe we could get Texas San Antonio after them. They're the Roadrunners. The Roadrunners and the Coyotes. Beep beep. Or are the Coyotes gonna get something from Acme about this? Well, maybe we need to order something from Acme. Look at what's happened to the Orange. We seem to have lost that aura of invincibility. We seem to have fallen on our faces, much like a bad Oktoberfest dancer. Too many America's Funniest Home Videos watching there. But you know, we got our last 2 games of the regular season coming up. Tomorrow night, DePaul invades the Carrier Dome. There's a chance to get back on track. But Saturday is our last game of the regular season, and we have to go down to Washington, D.C. for a rematch against the Hoyas, who ended that aura of invincibility at the Carrier Dome. The Orange have got to get back on track, and get back on track fast. Next week, it's the Big East tournament, and then we'll see where the Orange are going to go for the big dance. We could have been #1 seeds, but now we'll be lucky if we get a #4 seed. And I mean, we'd probably be meeting the #1 seed in the Sweet 16. Boy, that's a scary thought. Come on, Orange, what's going on here? We need to get that aura back. And let's talk about auras. Let's talk about something with the football team, shall we? The schedule came out for the Orange football team this past week. And guess who one of our games is against? Of course, I kind of knew the other 3 non-conference games, Penn State, Tulane, and Northwestern. But guess what #4 for our non-conference slate is? Wagner. Why would we schedule Wagner? Especially since Wagner sometimes fluctuates with its scholarship thing. There was a chance Wagner might not count towards anything if we win, we might have had to go 7-5 in order to get to a bowl game. Although I think somewhere along the line 80 Gross figured it out and Coach Schaefer figured it out. But why would we schedule Wagner for an FCS opponent? We could have scheduled, Colgate. We could have scheduled maybe Stony Brook again. But why Wagner? Boy, we must have been really desperate for a game. All right, here we are. We're going to play the Seahawks. What, Seattle? No, Wagner. Wagner? Ugh. I don't know what 80 Gross thinks sometimes. It would have been best had we played Colgate. And that way we could even up the series. Or maybe even take the lead. Even though we've dominated the Raiders in our last meetings against Colgate. Of course, what do Syracuse fans brush their teeth with? Why, Colgate, of course. And of course, we can't re-up our rivalry against Cornell on the gridiron, not unless some major changes are made. Cornell and the Ivy League schools don't really play Division I schools. Cornell and Syracuse used to have a pretty good rivalry on the gridiron, but of course, since they made the changes, we haven't played Cornell in about 50-some years. Well, we gotta figure out a way, because guess what? We trail the Big Red in the standings. Cornell has the edge on us for the all-time series, and it's another one we gotta even up. But why Wagner? I don't know. And also, I'm going to make mention about the lacrosse team. It looked as though the lacrosse season was going to be a disaster when they opened their year with a defeat against Albany. Boy, those Great Danes sure turned into big dogs against John Desco and the Orange lacrosse team. Albany beat us for the first time ever. But then Army comes into the Dome, and even though it was a low-scoring game, a good 6-2 win against Army, a team that knocked us out of the NCAA tournament early on a couple of years ago. But we had a big victory this past weekend. Virginia came into the Dome, and the Cavaliers always have been big rivals for us on the lacrosse pitch. And guess what? The Orange win in overtime over Virginia. Maybe this is the start of something that could lead us back to the national title. And of course, in a couple of weeks, Johns Hopkins plays us. That always is a great rivalry. The Blue Jays and the Orange. Wait a minute, I thought the Blue Jays were Toronto. No, that's the only sport that Johns Hopkins has a Division I team in. Johns Hopkins is Division, I think, 2 or 3 in all other sports. But Johns Hopkins always has been our major rival on the lacrosse pitch. And a win against Johns Hopkins would go a long way for Desco and the Orange, or trying to bring the program back to the way it was. They say next year's lacrosse recruitment was pretty darn good. Maybe a big step for us to get back to being the team that we were when the Gates were running wild on the lacrosse pitch. Let's go, Orange. Keep it going there. And let's hope that you can throw some of your good vibes towards the basketball team. And speaking of basketball, I want to give a big shout out to our local team, the Miners Blue Devils. Boy, thing is, this year, the girls' team was in a rebuilding process. Brittany Anderson was the only major star for the Blue Devils this year. But of course, something happened when the Section 5 tournament began. See, Minders was playing a lot of bigger schools. They weren't winning much, but Brittany Anderson was sure tearing it up on the court. And then Coach Al Best, who has won, I think, 7 or 8 sectional titles in a long Hall of Fame career, which includes stop at Greece Arcadia and Greece Athena. But something happened when they started playing. They started playing good. they throttle Williamson. Then they play the number one team in their class, Gananda, on their home court, beat them, and they kept it going, beating Byron Bergen, and then beating Addison for the Class C1 title. And they had a chance to keep on going, but Bishop Kearney ended their run. But all in all, it was a great run while it lasted. Congratulations to the Lady Blue Devils on their sectional title. Congratulations to Brittany Anderson on what has been a stellar high school career. Only the third Lady Blue Devil to score 1,000 points in a career. And to Coach Best for getting another title in a long and illustrious Section 5 coaching career. And what about those boys? Another C1 title, and they keep on going with a big win last night against Clyde Savannah on Waterloo's court. And tomorrow night, they play Clyde Savannah's Route 31 rival for the right to go to the state tournament. Let's cage those Lions. Boy, what a run for the boy Blue Devils. And of course, I'm hoping Brandon Pasalacqua can maybe close his illustrious Minder's career out with a state title. That would be the icing on the cake for what has been a great career for Brandon Pasalacqua. And last but not least this week, I want to talk about a funny commercial that features an old rival for the Orange basketball team. Geico has had some hit commercials and some missed commercials, but the latest one featuring Dikembe Mutombo seems to be a hit. Him putting everyday situations, blocking things, and going, no, 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 no. Of course, he's the second all-time leading shot blocker in NBA history. But you gotta wonder, what are those Geico people thinking with Mutombo going, no, 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 no. He's a very well-educated man. Heck, he speaks 8 languages. Heck, could he have done something there like, non, 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 non? That's the only other one. Of course, that's French. And of course, Mutombo played for the Hoyas. I kind of wonder all those years ago when he played with Alonzo Mourning on the team on which his coach got thrown out of the Carrier Dome, do you think he could have gone to Coach Thompson? No, 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 no. Because you know what? Thompson would have probably said, yes, 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 yes. Heck, I wouldn't have had the pleasure of saying bye-bye when he walked off the Carrier Dome court. And maybe a few other words to boot. And of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who holds the all-time leading record for most blocked shots in NBA history, would have gone, my word. Or maybe the man below Dikembe Mutombo on the list, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, God rest his soul, would have said, hey, I became a heartthrob by saying, no, 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 no. But I don't do it as good as you, Dikembe. Well, I don't want to insult Wilt's memory because he was a heck of a player. But the thing is, Dikembe, Geico should have been a little more thoughtful with a commercial for you. And by the way, yes, 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 yes. That's the end of my show this week. I'm Ken Haas. That's my rants for this week, and I'm sticking to them.